Morning, Arsene.
Good morning.
Could we start with the team news ahead of the semi-final, please?
We have a big squad available for selection, and we just have Arteta is out and Chamberlain is not available for selection as well. Everybody else should be all right.
Without Oxlade-Chamberlain, how close is he to be coming back into the squad?
At least 2 weeks.
And we saw Jack Wilshere playing for the under-21s in midweek. How close is he to being sort of match ready?
He has improved physically. I think he's available for selection now to be in the squad for Saturday.
And just lastly for me, it's another FA Cup semi-final against the Championship club. How different do you feel going in terms of your preparation towards last year?
Look how different it is again a step to get into the final, and I think I play my 10th semi-final on Saturday, so that means we know how to prepare. We know as well that it is always tricky. We have learned from Wigan last year, and that it's a special occasion for us to share with our fans, and we want them to go home happy. And we know in the semi-final it's always tricky. Last year we went to penalties against Wigan, and we have learned from that, and I think the urgency level will be quite high in our team.
Arsene, hello. You've always respected the traditions of the FA Cup and you've got a great record in it, but would you swap a place in Saturday's semi for being 4 to 5 points closer to Chelsea in the title race?
There's not question about swapping. We are not in a negotiation in our job, unfortunately. It's just that you do what you can do as well as you can, and in every single competition, and we have done well in the FA Cup, and we want to continue our run.
At the same time as you're playing that semi-final though, Chelsea and Manchester United, I mean, there could be the added bonus for you that Chelsea drop points as well as you find your way to the final again.
Look, let's focus on our job. I think it's. I'm a bit surprised that the game of the same stature is played at the same time. It is a bit a conflict there that it's difficult to understand.
Just lastly on that particular issue, if Manchester United won, does that put you back in the title race then?
Look, mathematically, yes, but we have to win our games, and we want to win our games. That's all we can do.
Would you like to see Jurgen Klopp in the Premier League, and what do you think he'd bring to it?
I'm not an agency to place managers, and I like every manager and respect everybody, but I find that circus a bit ridiculous, honestly.
But if he does move, regardless of whether he comes here, do you see some of Dortmund's top players following the likes of Aubameyang and Clemens?
Again, I think it's down to every club to make the right decision, and not to respect Dortmund. You know, I believe that Dortmund is a massive club and will survive, and will keep that, has the ability to keep their best players. It's a club has a big history, a history linked with great results and great achievements. So I don't think that will stop for Dortmund.
In recent seasons, you've had great success in tying down your younger, promising players for long-term deals at Arsenal. Are you hopeful a similar thing can happen with Theo, and if so, why would you be optimistic?
Yes, I'm confident. Because I believe that Theo is a great future. He's just coming back from a very, very difficult injury. Every week he's getting better, and he's very young, and I believe he will have a great goal-scoring record in the future because of the quality and the intelligence of his game, and therefore I would like him to stay with our club, yes.
And without necessarily naming names, how far are you along the line in terms of progress for targets for next season, for example? I mean, I'm not expecting you to name names, but
no, you know, I cannot give you any names because at the moment we are focused on achieving our targets until the end of the season. You know, it's every game is vital now, and we just want to focus on our games. We have a massive squad. We have a big squad. We have 24 players at the moment, and we have players like Podolski, Sanogo, and Joel Campbell who are out on loan. So for us, it will first be important for next team to prepare well and get the right squad dimension of the squad, and if needed, to add what we can add.
I don't know if you've heard about this sprint challenge idea that's being mooted, where the Richard Kilty, the world indoor champion, would like to race against your fastest player, who we believe might be Hector Bellerino. Could that happen? And I mean,
Well,
just how
I
fast
believe personally, I believe it's Walcott who is our fastest player.
Still.
And I agree completely that the sprinters are quicker than football players, but it's different runs. You know, a football player runs with football boots on grass. It's different kind of runs. It's not only pure pace. The pace in our job starts with the brain, and of course, when you put in action what you analysed on the pitch. But the pure speed, I'm convinced that the sprinters who are specialists are quicker than football players.
Arsene, you mentioned earlier you were a bit surprised that Chelsea-Manchester United was kicking off 10 minutes after the start of your FA Cup semi-final. Is it not more a bit of a mess that the FA Cup should be in conflict with Premier League fixtures, and shouldn't something be done about it?
Something should be done about it, but I'm surprised because that they did not analyze that in television deals, you know, because that basically what happens there, it is something that should have been planned, that two television channels who pay a lot of money for football are conflicting, have conflicted interests in promoting games, and that inside the country shouldn't happen.
You're in a great run at the moment. What is the single biggest change between when you weren't playing quite so well earlier this season and now? What's changed the most?
Personnel available, knowing each other better, and having a better balance in our team between attacking and defending.
How much of that, though, is being done on the training ground in terms of drilling your players to get what you want?
Look, on the training ground, of course, you do a lot, but how much is you cannot measure the impact on the team. Because that would mean the teams who do not win don't work well on the football ground, on the training ground. That's not true. But the sensitivity of our job is that everything needs to be right. Yeah? The preparation, the people available, the spirit, and if you look at in Europe, there are only 3 teams who have won 8 games on the trot, so that means it's not easy, and that everything has to click just at the right moment, and that the confidence level needs to be there. But it's a luxury to have a good run, because it doesn't question one important thing in our job is the confidence of the team. But on the other hand as well, you need to keep the urgency level and the desire and the hunger at a very high level to continue it.
And I understand you're not going to comment directly on Jurgen Klopp's future, but if you were to give one bit of advice to a foreign manager coming to manage in the Premier League, what's the biggest tip you could pass on?
I believe try to get your ideas through and adapt as well to the local culture and respect it.
Arsene, is this an opportunity for players like Theo Walcott, Danny Welbeck, Kieran Gibbs, who've not had an opportunity recently because of your consistency, to maybe give you a reminder of what they can do?
No, it's not a game that I look at it as opportunities for some individual players. It's just for us an opportunity to go to the final, and just we pick the team who has the best, in my opinion, the best chance to win the game.
So you're not concerned about finding a balance, and because obviously you played Moyes.
Yeah, I'm concerned about finding a balance, that's for sure, but a collective balance, yes. It can include some of these players or not, but honestly I haven't decided yet who will start the game on Saturday.
Jack Wilshere was saying that the mood in the camp, in the training, everyone is, on quite a high and intense training to try and get that competition for places. Is that what you're feeling back from?
Yeah, he's right. It's true because everybody feels that it's difficult to get in the team, and because we have all the players have top quality. Of course, it's difficult for me as well to make this kind of decisions.
How do the players take that? Do you feel? Do you think they understand it?
You do not ask anybody to understand that he doesn't play because they all deserve to play, honestly, and but they have to accept it and to respect just the decision. That's what you want from the players. You do not want them to understand it. There's nothing really to understand because everybody is top quality at the moment in the squad.
Do you feel both Arteta and Rosicky will still be here next season as well? Is that still up in the air?
I think yes, they will be here next season.
Have you had any indication of when those deals are likely?
Look, we'll sort that out. I think now, end of May.
So will Wojciech start?
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure he's not been happy to be not playing regularly, but I guess the irony is he missed the whole of the FA Cup run last season, and yet he's been playing it this time.
But he has played in the last round.
Yeah, but last season he didn't play.
Not in the last season, no. This season he has played at Man United, and he had a very good performance. So I don't see why. I believe it's important that the two goalkeepers get competition, and he will get competition in the FA Cup now, as long as Ospina plays in the Championship.
The team was maybe a bit nervous at the start of the semi-final last year, maybe at the final as well. Do you think, having come through that last year, that they won't start the games in the same way this time?
I believe that's just having spoken about the team, an aspect where we have improved. We have stronger starts now than a long time ago, and we have learned as well from last season. We're a bit apprehensive, I agree with you, in both games, semi-final and final, and maybe that experience can help us on Saturday.
You were quite nervous, you seemed that day on the semi as well. I saw.
Yes, because it was a moment that we couldn't miss, and so of course that in both games, semi-final and final, we were down, and that every time you have a mountain to climb in competitions like that when you run after the score.
And just finally for me, just on the kick-off times again, does it take something away from the FA Cup as a spectacle that it's having to compete directly with the Premier League?
No, but you would like it to be the unique competition that is played, especially the semi-final and the final. I think you would want it not to be conflicting with other competitions.
And the fact that he's going up against a very big game.
A very big game, yes, I agree with you. It's a surprise to me.
Arsene, I know you don't want to be the agent of Jurgen Klopp, but when you do step aside as Arsenal manager in the future, do you think he has a profile that would suit this club?
I already answered this question.
And just what are the strengths that Reading bring to this match? What are you wary of?
Look, the experience. They have many players who have the experience in Premier League. They have a good offensive potential with Pogrebniak, Maki, Robson Kanu, McCleary. They're all dangerous players. They are very efficient. They have a style who goes a lot through crosses. They're very efficient on crosses, and I believe for us they can be a danger going forward.
Of course, having played Championship opposition, your players won't be underestimating.
We won't be, for two reasons. Why? We know that it can be very tricky and difficult, and secondly, once you're in the semi-final at Wembley, it would be absolutely non-intelligent just to think you turn up and you win the game. We maintain. We prepared well since the start of the season for this game, and we know exactly what can happen to us. What will face us, and I think the team will have a needed focus.
And just Raheem Sterling has been in the papers of late. Do you think that young players need more guidance on the way they conduct themselves?
I don't know. I believe young players are young players. They have. You learn in life with your mistakes, and the important thing is not to repeat the mistakes.
Arsene, the feeling you had in the dressing room after the final last year, do you think that might put your players in a bit more of a better position, knowing that feeling they had, and they will want it again, that feeling they had after the final?
We want it again, but let's first go through the semi-final. And the fact that we won it last year, yes, is good remembrance and can, of course, stimulate your brain, your desire. And we want to take the positives of it, but we remember as well that we suffered a lot before we got there, and so we have to prepare ourselves to battle first.
And just a word on Steve Clarke. He's obviously had a lot of experience in the Premier League. Obviously at Chelsea, he's obviously a man you know quite well.
Yes, he has a good experience, and so he knows exactly. He has been a long time at the top, and he knows exactly what will happen. And I'm sure he will prepare very well his team.
Arsène, bonjour. Concernant Abu Dhabi, il n'a pas joué, il avait 2 matchs depuis 2 ans. Je veux savoir quel était votre sentiment quand vous le croisez tous les jours depuis 7 mois au centre d'entraînement. C'est une situation évidemment difficile pour lui, il a une carrière assez compliquée.
Ben, mon sentiment, c'est d'abord beaucoup d'empathie et de respect, parce que j'ai vu arriver ici, avec un jeune joueur plein de talent et très prometteur, avec une très bonne attitude. Donc ça me fait très mal de voir qu'il n'a pas pu remplir ses objectifs. Et en même temps, j'ai toujours l'espoir qu'il va enfin réussir à se débarrasser de ses problèmes et qu'il va... Je pense que c'est injuste d'imaginer qu'il ne puisse jamais avoir 1, 2, 3 ans où il peut jouer sans avoir ces problèmes-là. Donc je l'encourage tout le temps à ne pas laisser tomber, et il a montré une force de caractère absolument exceptionnelle. C'est ce que je respecte le plus en fait chez lui, c'est cette volonté inarrêtable de revenir, et j'espère que cette fois-ci il sera récompensé.
Il multiplie les matchs avec la réserve. Est-ce qu'il est disponible pour la demi-finale? Est-ce qu'il sera dans le groupe?
Il n'est pas disponible pour la demi-finale, il ne sera pas dans le groupe, non. C'est encore un peu tôt pour lui pour se lancer dans une bataille intense. Il n'est pas prêt.
Last one back.
Ensemble, 2 questions en français, s'il vous plaît. Qu'est-ce que vous pensez de l'équipe de Reading et le match ce week-end?
Bah, je pense que c'est une bonne équipe, qui a une bonne expérience, et le match de ce week-end, c'est simple. C'est pour nous, l'impératif est clair, il faut passer et aller en finale. Donc il faut attaquer exactement comme un match de Première Ligue.
Et est-ce que vous pensez Jürgen Klopp est un bon entraîneur pour la Premier League?
Mais j'ai déjà répondu à cette question.